The Chicago Bears are heading into one of the most intriguing draft moments in recent years, and what's coming out of the latest insider reporting is starting to shape a very clear picture of what this front office could be planning when they're finally on the clock at pick 25. According to Albert Breer's latest draft notebook, there's a growing expectation around the league that offensive tackles could fly off the board early, with as many as 7 potentially landing in the first round, and the Bears are right in the middle of that conversation. That matters more than it might seem at first glance. The Bears aren't just casually evaluating tackles. They're in a position where the right move could define the protection in front of Caleb Williams for years to come. And here's where things get interesting. Breer outlines a scenario where multiple teams picking between 14 and 25 are targeting the same group of tackles, which could trigger a leapfrog effect, where teams start jumping each other to secure their guy. The Bears, sitting at 25, could easily find themselves watching a run unfold right before their eyes. Before we continue, tell me, who would you like to see wearing the Bears uniform on the field? I want to know your opinion. And don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to stay informed. Now, inside Halas Hall, the current expectation is that Darnell Wright stays put at right tackle. There's been no real push to move him, and that means the focus is clearly on finding someone who can compete or eventually take over on the left side. That's where names like Caden Proctor and Caleb Lomu start to gain traction. Both bring experience as multi-year starters at left tackle, and both fit the profile of what the Bears need: size, strength, and the ability to protect the blind side. But there's another name quietly building momentum behind the scenes: Maxi Hatachor. This is a player the Bears have done significant homework on, including a top 30 visit and presence at his pro day. What makes him fascinating is his upside. He's relatively new to football, just 5 years into the sport, yet already a multi-year starter. At 6'6", over 320 pounds, with long arms and elite athletic traits, he might not be a plug-and-play starter on day one, but the ceiling is undeniable. The Bears could bring him in, throw him into competition with current options like Braxton Jones and Jedrick Wills, and let development take its course. And that's really the key theme emerging here. This isn't just about filling a hole, it's about long-term vision. The Bears saw last year how injuries and inconsistency can derail the offensive line, and they're clearly looking for a solution that isn't just temporary. Even if a rookie doesn't win the job immediately, there's a belief that the right talent could grow into the role by mid-season or beyond. Another angle that's gaining attention is whether the Bears would consider trading up. Right now, that feels unlikely, but if the board starts to break in a certain way, if the top-tier tackles begin disappearing quickly, it could at least enter the conversation. Still, the more realistic scenario is staying patient and seeing who falls, then making a calculated decision based on value and upside. And beyond the offensive line, there's a broader sense of optimism building around this roster. If the Bears nail this pick and follow it up with smart selections on day 2, targeting edge rushers, safeties, and explosive skill players, this team could take a serious leap. There's already talk that the offense, which showed flashes last season, could climb into the top tier of the league if everything clicks, and if Caleb Williams takes that expected second-year jump. So as the draft approaches, all eyes are on that number 25 pick. Will the Bears land one of those coveted tackles? Will they get caught in that league-wide scramble? Or could they pivot in a completely different direction if the board doesn't fall their way? What do you think, Bears fans? Should Chicago prioritize locking down a left tackle at 25? Or take the best player available and trust the rest to fall into place? And when you zoom out, this entire situation starts to feel like a defining moment for the Chicago Bears front office. Because it's not just about reacting to how the board falls, it's about anticipating chaos and being ready to capitalize on it. If that run on offensive tackles actually happens the way insiders are predicting, then Ryan Poles and his staff have to already know exactly which name they're sprinting to the podium for if one of their top targets slips through. What makes this even more fascinating is the contrast between floor and ceiling in this class. You've got players like Caleb Lomu, who bring stability, experience, and a higher floor, as prospects who have played a ton of football. Then on the other side, there are high upside swings like Caden Proctor or Maxi Hadachor, guys who might not be perfect today but could become elite with the right development. That decision alone tells you a lot about how the Bears view their timeline. Are they trying to stabilize immediately around Caleb Williams? Or are they betting on building something dominant over the next 2 to 3 years? And don't forget, the ripple effects go beyond just the offensive line. If the Bears feel confident enough to secure that left tackle of the future, it unlocks flexibility for the rest of the draft. Suddenly, on day 2, you're not drafting out of desperation. You're drafting with purpose. You can attack positions like edge rusher or safety, where adding impact talent could elevate the entire defense. There's even a real possibility of adding more explosiveness on offense, whether that's a dynamic running back or a receiver who brings a different element to the passing game. Inside the building, there's also growing belief that this offense could take a massive leap. If the protection improves and Caleb Williams makes that year 2 jump, you're no longer talking about potential, you're talking about production. There's legitimate optimism that this unit could push into the top tier of the NFL, maybe even flirt with being one of the most dangerous offenses in the league. But it all circles back to that moment at pick 25. Because if the Bears get this right, if they land the right tackle, the right fit, the right future anchor, everything else starts to fall into place. Miss on it, and suddenly, you're still searching for answers at one of the most critical positions in football. That's why this draft feels different. There's pressure, yes, but there's also opportunity. A chance to solidify the foundation, protect your franchise quarterback, and finally build the kind of consistency this team has been chasing for years. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you taking the high upside gamble at offensive tackle, or going with the safer, more proven option to protect Caleb Williams right away? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for daily Bears coverage. Leave a like if you're excited for the draft, and click on the video on your screen right now, because all the latest Chicago Bears updates, you'll only find them here first. Go Bears!